kind of a change in the expectations for the season now, as honestly in the second half we completely took over, beating Stanford 36-14. It was an utter beatdown. I don't know where to go from here in regards to what the expectation of a rebuild season is, but we absolutely cooked Stanford in this game. If you look at the stats real quick, the game really came down to Jonah Coleman again, just being an absolute stud. You see the rushing yards. Hold on. There it is. Ngata had 2 touchdowns. Jonah Coleman had 3. And he had 245 yards rushing, 42 attempts. He just absolutely dominated this ball game, and that really was the difference. I mean, honestly, our defense did great, but see all the turnovers you'll see in a second. 5 turnovers, 5 interceptions. They just could not hold on to the ball. That was the difference. Late in the game too, especially. Early on, it wasn't that big of a deal because it was relatively close. But late in the game, it completely changed. They had way more passing yards than us, but we just ran it down their throat. They had nothing. They couldn't do anything physically up front. Absolutely obliterated them. It should change the landscape of what the Pac-12, and seeing that and seeing how that's going in regards to our expectation within the conference is completely different now. If we sim to the next week, you can see some of our guys who got accepted. All right, so watch this. Hey, right outside linebacker Tito Batista, 4-star, huge. Hey, he's from Steilacoom, Washington, right around where I grew up, literally like just down the hill. Hey, 3-star kicker. We got a new kicker. Good. And pretty much everybody else you can see getting closer and closer. We lost the QB at the bottom, but that's okay. Jonah Coleman, risk of transfer, nothing now. Outside of pro potential. Look at that. Player of the week. DC Robinson. Huge. So we're out of bye, as you can tell. Let's go into here, though. Florida barely beating Clemson. Great game. Are we in the top 25? We are not. Ironically, Tennessee still is, but we are not. Not even in the coaches. I wonder where we are ranked. Look at that, though. Top 2 teams in the original 10, USC and Washington. I know Oregon's ranked higher, and I know USC's top 5. But in regards to conference understanding, that's where we are. Let's check out the top scores from week 6, shall we? Colorado upsetting Mizzou. Huge, huge, huge win there for Colorado. Missouri, they'll still be ranked high, but not after that. Probably like number 25. I mean, obviously they're 15, but they'll drop back more. NC State beating Wake. Ohio State in that close one against Iowa. I was getting updated a lot in my game about that game. Florida, Notre Dame barely beating Cincinnati, not shocker there. Nebraska beating Texas. Big, 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 big win for Nebraska. Huge win for Nebraska. USC destroying Arizona State. Texas A&M taking care of business. Illinois getting absolutely thumped against Iowa State. Utah getting beat by UNLV. Again, the Pac-12 coming through. Ole Miss taking care of business. Georgia bouncing back. Number 11 in the country. 3-2, but number 11 in the country. Tennessee 34-9. Florida State again. Game of the week. Florida State making it happen. That was a huge game for both teams. And then North Carolina just barely beating Maryland. Should we check out the games for this week? Since we're not playing. Missouri, Nebraska, one of the games of the week. Who else is in there? Not really. Florida, Tennessee. That's a huge game. Absolutely huge game. LSU, Ole Miss. Yeah, there's some big ones this weekend. And then obviously Notre Dame, Stanford. Let's go to the Heisman Watch. Yep, everything's still the same. Nothing's different. So like I said, we are on a bye week. And we'll do some recruiting. And we'll check everything else out in regards to the rankings. If you heard that, sorry about that. So yeah, that's our week 6 recap. We'll recap week 7 and then obviously go into the next game, which I would be under the assumption. Let's check that out real quick. Oregon State, big game in week 8. I think we can take care of business considering they're in Oregon State, or they're in Washington for that one, and then the night game against USC is the couple weeks after. So yeah, our schedule is laid out pretty tough after this, so this is going to be good. I know Oregon State looks like a pushover, but they're not. Trust me, it will be a tough one. All right, thanks for watching.